Even a man who's pure in heart and says his prayers by night may become a wolf when wolfsbane blooms and the moon's full and bright. This is a famous gypsy poem located in a collection of stories by Suzanne Schwalb in the book called Vampires, Werewolves, and Zombies. The purpose of this lecture is to inform supernatural followers of the world about werewolves. I have spent most of my life observing the lives and activities of supernatural beings through literature and video documentation. I will talk in brief about werewolves in 3 short parts. 1 being the history and origins of werewolves. 2nd being what makes a werewolf. And 3rd being the precautions you can take against werewolves. To gain an understanding of werewolves, I will begin with the history and origins of werewolves. A recent documentary by Wiseman called Underworld, Evolution identifies William Corvinus as being the first werewolf. The son of Alexander Corvinus was bitten by a rabid mountain wolf. Being the 5th century, rabies would have killed a mortal man. William, having been immortal like his father, his DNA was mutated with that of the wolf, causing him to become a werewolf. Webster's Dictionary with Old Saxon describes were being man and wolf being wolf. Combined makes werewolf. Origins older than the 5th century lies with that of the Greek mythology. Once upon a time, Zeus disguised himself as a traveler seeking hospitality in the court, the palace of the Arcadian king Lycaon. Lycaon, recognizing Zeus, tried to kill him by feeding him human flesh. Zeus, recognizing the trick, was furious with Lycaon. He then destroyed his palace and condemned him to live as a wolf for the rest of his life. The Greek word for loci, meaning wolf, and the first time use of the word Lycaon, which is then mimicked by that of Wiseman in the Underworld Evolution series. To examine what a werewolf is, or what is a werewolf, you have to look at the transformation, the physical ability, and the characteristics of a werewolf. There are always 3. There's the alpha, which is the leader, the beta, which is the pack member, and the omega, which is the lone wolf. The alpha, in this case, William Corvinus, is only as strong as his pack members, which then would have had him seek out and bite other people to become a stronger alpha. Now, we all know, it was commonly known, that you can become a werewolf by being bitten by a werewolf, by its bite. However, according to MTV's Teen Wolf, it's either a bite only by a alpha or a deep enough scratch, as long as the saliva from a werewolf, the alpha werewolf, penetrates and enters the bloodstream. According to Buffy the Vampire Slayer from Whedon, any werewolf can bite any human and transmit the disease. But then again, in Meyer's and Twilight and Teen Wolf from MTV, those are the only suggestions of there actually being people born as werewolves. Now you have the increased sight, you have the hearing, you have the strength, you have claws, and you have an elongated muzzle, and you have healing powers. Now all of these characteristics come into fact before you even turn into the initial change. The first initial change will take place the first full moon or the next full moon, the first night. In the case of Twilight series, you can change whenever you want. In the case of Teen Wolf, You can turn whenever you want, but you are forced to change within the full moon time. And according to Buffy the Vampire Slayer series, you only change for 3 nights. The rest of the nights, you're human. You can't even change if you wanted to. All these changes occur through desire, impulse, or instinct. As far as I'm concerned, I follow the Teen Wolf one. The forms that a werewolf can take are, again, 3. There's the human form, and then there's the hybrid form, which is a wolfman form that walks upright on 2 legs. And then there's the third form, which is a full wolf form, which a full wolf can walk in all 4. Now, while knowing what a werewolf is and where it came about, it's also equally important to know the precautions to take against werewolves. One being to stay inside during a full moon. The second being that of wolfbane. Wolfbane can be identified by its purple flower and jagged leaves. If tied around a rope and planted outside and making a perimeter around outside your house, you can force a werewolf to take its wolf form, identifying itself. If inhaled or ingested, it can be lethal to a werewolf, and then you can either shoot it with a silver bullet or chop it in half. Remembering the purposes of this lecture is not to scare anyone. However, it is to inform you about werewolves, prepare you. Now you know where a werewolf comes from and what it is and how to take precautions against it. Whether you believe it or not about werewolves, remember, you have been warned.